Okay, we are Monday evening here again, and Peter and I have been doing some yard work and cleaning up some stuff, that kind of thing today, and figured I'd take some time to do another crop tour. And since it is Monday, it's time to try to find my corn plant and see what we can, if we can find it. As you can tell behind me, the corn's definitely still growing. When you look ahead, it's like 6 feet tallish on the headlands here. So we will, got a feeling it might be a little trickier to see. It might be a little trickier here to see this plant. Just because everything's a little trickier as it gets taller. But see if we can find it. So this week the corn, I'm not expecting our growth rate to have been quite the same this week as I'm walking in the jungle here. Two reasons. Last week was roughly 32 degrees Celsius, or we were definitely in our 90s Fahrenheit. And this week we were more in our 70s. I'm gonna say probably like 70, 75 degrees Fahrenheit on average. So low to mid 20s. So almost 10 degrees Celsius less. So that will definitely have an effect on how much we've been growing. Plus our big push was, like, in height wise, is always that stage. So I'm walking in here. Boy, this corn is still pushing good though, because it's well over my head. So there she bees. There is our plant. There is roughly 6 feet tall. So we're gonna see how tall we are. Tape measures on there. Holy smokes. We are 80 inches. Our growing is going to slow down, and how I know that is I'm going to show you something. And this is crazy for here in Manitoba. We've got tassel forming here already, which isn't really no surprise for me when I look at the corn height. This corn is still going to grow a fair bit. It's probably going to grow another 2-3 feet, but that tassel normally starts showing up here in about 3 weeks from now. So we are way ahead of normal. 2 weeks for sure. So very excited to see this. Now we're going to need the pollinating weather to get that plant. Oh, look at this. Here's where the cob is going to start forming. So as that tassel is going to flower, we're going to show you this next week. That is going to flower. Those flowers are going to land here. And my guess is next week we come back, this here cob is going to be starting to form. At least that's what we're hoping. Oh, we got another one down here. So we already got it. The 2 cobs are going to be forming here. And next week we will see how that's going to transpire. Okay, so now that I got everything started, I got the semi in the field. I'm going to show you what's on for today. We are, plan right now is last pass on the beans. This is basically a touch-up with Roundup, just so we don't have some late season weeds show up. That will be problematic for harvest. A lot of these weeds that we're going to be killing should not affect yield, as the beans you're going to see are getting quite big. Some would question what we're doing because of yes, these beans are flowering already, And what do I mean by that? If you go in here, you're gonna see little flowers starting to show up. These little weeds right here, those are the ones we're gonna try getting. There's not many of them and they're not big and much, but just enough that they could become problematic. So we'll throw in a bit of glyphosate. We'll get them guys dead. And then this field of beans is good. Well, hopefully. Herbicide wise, it is good till harvest, so which is exciting. But yeah, very, very excited that here we are. I believe it's the 11th of July. And we're talking like beans that are at least knee high or better. So that's really exciting. And the moisture conditions are, well, let's just see. I don't know if we had any rain here. Kendall had a bit yesterday. I don't think we did here. That being said, it did not take very far and we found moisture, so not wet, but the moisture is there. So okay, finished the first field, which actually wasn't where I started. I just figured I'd go do a 80-acre chunk just a mile down the road, and now I'm gonna head back to where the truck is. And on that field, we're doing a plot together with our buddies over there at Tone Ag, and we are trying a new product called Vita, and it's supposed to stimulate plant growth. I'm not sure. It has to do with either helping it produce its own fertilizer better. We're gonna learn. I'm still learning all this stuff. Anyway, so that jug's supposed to do 40 acres, so I've got ballpark 40 acres worth of glyphosate left in there yet. So now what I'm going to do is mix this up while I'm driving, and then we can, that is an interesting looking view. Got that mixing. By the time we get to the field, it should be mixed up, ready to go. Gonna do those plots, and then we will go on and finish the field just the regular way. So okay, so as I'm pulling out of this field, you're gonna see, I don't know if you can see them or not, but there's some orange flags out here. And so I have been given a handy dandy, my air is blowing, a little map as to what I'm supposed to do. So we'll try to follow that and see how this all works out. So I'm spraying the last field of canola here today with fungicide, and what you're gonna look at is we got, it looks like two different colors of yellow, which it's not. Anybody that grows canola knows what this is, but this here looks greener. What it is, it's just earlier in the flowering stage, and this here is very, very yellow. And what that is right there is the line. And what I have here is Kendall was seeding this field. He started with this variety, which was L350, I believe, and then did 70 acres or so, and then switched to this one, which is an L340. And the 340 is an earlier maturing one, yada yada. So needless to say, this one I sprayed about a week ago, and now this one's coming in today. So it's headlands here are actually a little on the early side, but the rest of the field looked pretty good. So anyway, real excited. This is the last field of canola that we're going to spray with fungicide. I'm gonna have to take a walk here. I can't remember seeing canola like this on our farm. I'm, again, height wise and everything, it's big. Height does not mean bushels, but when we look in here, the pods are starting here, and there's lots of pods. There's no we call them aborted pods. Sometimes when you get heat stress, they'll actually blast off, and so instead of it being a nice pod, the flower actually just goes like this, and there is no pods. So when you look here, this is how they start. That's a little pod, and that guy will keep growing and growing, and well, we'll show you later on in the summer, but they get substantially bigger, and those things fill up with seeds. So